So Olivia has admitted that she did not pass the 8th grade, which is absolutely crazy. Like, there's no way she knows what a W-2 is. Absolutely not. She didn't pass the 8th grade, which, I mean, back in my day when I was in high school, I graduated in 2009. They didn't teach like things like that. Um, they honestly, they didn't really teach you anything to get you through in life. You know, the important things like loans and mortgages and, how to buy a house and interest and, things like that. Things that you should know. How to open up your own bank account, which, I mean, it's pretty standard and easy. And, you know, the, the, the person at the bank does most of the work. You just have to bring the um, appropriate papers that they need or whatever. Um, there is a fly in here, and boy, am I angry. But she made it to not passing the 8th grade, which is bonkers to me. She wants to try to tell everyone she's smart and this, that, and the third. But remember, a while back when she was right before she moved to Florida for the summer, she was reading that book and she couldn't like read the words very good, and we all just sat there and laughed. Um, anyway, she wants to talk about how, she's smart and this, that, and the third. Girl, no, you didn't make it past the 8th grade, honey. Like, absolutely not. Like, you were never a freshman, a junior, a senior. What is the other one? Freshman, junior, senior. Oh my God, maybe I'm stupid. Freshman, junior. Senior's the last one. Sophomore, there we go. Whatever order. What is it? Freshman, junior, sophomore, senior. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Whatever. You get my drift. Um, for me, I made it all the way to college. So, yay. Did I finish college? Absolutely not. I did not, because the college I went to, terrible. Terrible. Would not recommend. 10 out of 10, would not recommend. Um, 2 thumbs down, no stars. Like, nah. Anyway, um, and plus the college I went to, they didn't like offer anything that I really wanted to do. So I just took business, but business is very important. I thought it was very important to get into some business, but I just, no, it wasn't for me. Um, but I made that effort to go to college, and I could easily, if I wanted to, I could go back to college. But not finishing college did not hinder me at all. Did not, you know, cause anything bad, didn't make me dumb, anything like that. But to not even get out of the 8th grade is crazy to me. Like, what? Like, my dad was there at my high school graduation, my mom, everyone was rallying around me. Nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, like, siblings, like, everybody was there for me. And I loved it so much. It's We were going to have it outdoors, but it was rainy, or it was going to rain, and so we had to have it inside, and it was so hot, and oh my God. Anyway, she's now brought this man into her life, Joey. What's crazy is she talks about him like left and right, like, oh, Kailani this, Kailani that, Joey this, Joey that. But then she says, I don't really know him that well. That's why that's why he's here, so I can get to know him. Like, what? How are you going to sit there and say, you know everything about him, this, that, and the third, and then you're like, oh, I'm bringing him here so that I can get to know him. Like, what? I would not. I would not fly out to meet somebody that I didn't know. Like, if I knew how they were online, I wouldn't. Um, I wouldn't fly out to meet them. So that makes me think, he's just as whack as she is. She said that he just got out of prison and for being a hardcore rug dealer, and those kids will never, never, ever, ever get a stable father figure in their lives. Um, like it's like every week there's a new man in those kids' life, and only for like a few days or a week at best. Like there was Gamer Bay, Prison Bay, now Joey. I mean, before that there was the man in Florida. She got pregnant, supposedly got pregnant by, which she never did, but I'm sure she was with the guy, and I believe that wholeheartedly. She was with some random guy. Um, not to mention all the past men. There's Gerard, there's the Brandon guy. Like, there's so many people left and right. Like, um, remember that guy that she was getting ready for on her one of her multiple live streams where this was before she went to Florida. She had was talking to him on the phone while drunk and acting a fool, and she was live streaming herself showering, like showing everyone what kind of underwear should I wear, what kind of underwear should I wear. You think he like these or will he like these? And then like live streaming herself getting ready for this man to come over, and people were like, "Oh, you should take some shots, Liv." So she went and took shots while baby Kalani was sitting on the bed in the bedroom by herself, knowing dang well the baby could fall off or anything. Best believe I don't leave my 2-year-old now. She's 2 now, just turned 2 in September. But best believe I don't leave her anywhere unattended. I don't. I just do not. I mean, I'll let her run around the backyard by herself with her brothers, um, but we have a fenced-in backyard, and I'm on the back porch, so I'm watching from sitting on the porch or whatever. That's the extent of what I do. Like leaving my kid alone, and that's not really leaving them alone. Um, I don't even like leaving my 3-year-old or my 6-year-old alone. I don't. Um, but I mean, these kids need a stable father figure in their lives. I just don't get it. I am glad, though, that the CPS worker that I just spoke to a couple days ago, or no, it was yesterday, I believe. I don't know, yesterday or the day before, whatever. It was yesterday. Anyway, well, no, I guess it's 12 o'clock here, 12:30 at night, so that would be like 2 days ago. She sounded very young, very sweet, very kind. She didn't interrupt me like the last lady. She was very open to hearing what I had to say. And I did let her know that there was mold in the apartment. Just found out that there's mold in the apartment. So in case, she was going there, like, put on a mask, girl. Like, put on a mask. That apartment needs to be, like, tore down. Needs to be, like, shut down. You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be caution tape all around that apartment. Like, boarded up. You know what I mean? Um, Cleaned up and boarded up. But it's crazy to me that Olivia, when she found out there was mold in the apartment from the maintenance men, she wasn't like, "Oh, my poor babies, my baby's health. My baby's been coughing nonstop. My mom, she's been sick since she's got here." She said, "The Caucasian white man was hot. He was good looking. Ooh, girl, ooh, wee. He had muscles, this, that, and the third. Like, that's my kind of man." And Joey was on his way to to see her, and not a dang thing about her baby's health or her health or anybody's health. AJ's, her mom's, like, And then she wants to bring an animal into the apartment. No, no, girl. We saw what you did to Suki. Suki didn't stand a chance. Suki did not stand a chance. I'm so glad that the dog finally is in better care. At least someone's in better care, but we need the children to be in better care. And I even told the CPS worker, I said, it's crazy to me that she wasn't even concerned about the children's health when she found out there's mold in the apartment. I said she just carried on like nothing was even wrong. And I brought up too, I said, she said, has there been any evidence of her taking the children to the doctors or anything like that? I said, absolutely not. And I said, the reason that I know this is because she live streams, every day, like all throughout the day. And I said, when she's live streaming, she goes live for hours at a time. I said, by the time she gets off of live stream, usually, like the first time she live streams, it's time for doctor's offices to close. And then she'll be off for like an hour or so, and then she'll come right back and live stream again. And I said, there's no way that she would have time to take the kids to the doctor because she's too busy live streaming. And she wanted me. There was a video of Queen Blama. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate all of these reactors who watch these videos and dumb them down. Not dumb, but like clip them down into shorter videos. That helps me and it helps CPS greatly. So if any of you all, any reactors who make videos on her, please continue to do that. And please, if you can, like make it, important things that could help me, help CPS. You know what I mean? Because there's a video from Queen Blama where the baby was coughing nonstop for over like 15 minutes, it seemed like. And Olivia didn't do a thing about it, and she was talking about milk allergies and stuff. And that's what I told her. The CPS worker wanted to see that video, so I sent the link to her. She said that she can't click on any links directly from the CPS reports online. So I said, I got you, girl. So I sent it to her, and I explained to her, I said, she said the baby has allergies. I said, she made that diagnosis, not the doctor. She did. And I said, she said that she has milk allergies or a milk allergy. And I said, but the thing is, though, when you're sick, when you're congested and you're coughing and things like that, when you're drinking dairy when you're having any dairy of any kind, whether cheese, yogurt, milk, whatever, it's going to make your cough and congestion worse. Every doctor will tell you, avoid dairy, especially in little children. I said, you know what I mean? And she said, absolutely. She said, that's right. And I said, yes. And I said, so she thinks that it's a milk allergy because whenever she gives her milk, she gets sicker. And she's like, oh, it's the milk. It's got to be the milk. And I was like, that ain't right. That don't make sense. I said, it's the milk making her sicker because she's already sick, and whatever she has, the milk is making it worse. And she said, absolutely. She agreed with me. But she told me she was going to pay her visit, so I love that. And then I guess Olivia acted a fool last night on TikTok. I'm banned from viewing her on TikTok because I don't know what I said to her or something pissed her off. So she didn't like it. So I just remember she said that she could take my man. And no, I think she called me ugly or something. Said no man would ever want me. And then I said, I was like, honey, I have 3 children and I have a fiance who I've been engaged to, or who I'm engaged with, and we've been together for 11 years. And she was like, she said something like, oh, I can take your man. Probably, if he saw me, he'd want to get with me and leave you, I'd be riding his face before the night's out. Like, no. Either that or she's like, I bet he's fucking ugly too, or some shit like that. But I'm telling you, my man, ooh-wee. Golly. He's good looking. Mm, he is so good looking, y'all. He's so talented too. I'm gonna brag on my man for a minute. He is so talented. He is a chef, not like professional, but he's a chef. He can cook his ass off. Um, he is very musically talented. He's a music producer, not like professionally. I mean, he's worked professionally in like music studios. He's worked with a lot of like famous people, famous musicians, and he's very talented with, like I said, making music. He can create anything, like literally any kind of genre. He's like, I got you. But his main thing is he creates drum and bass, jungle, like EDM, some trap. Does some like rap beats for people. Like if someone like hits him up, it's like, hey, I need a beat for my rap song. He's like, I got you. Um, he's done. He's made like a couple country songs, which country isn't like his favorite, but he does a couple country songs. He's done some pop. Like him and I both have like our own like music group that we do. We're called My Heart Your Eyes. So we make like synth pop type music. So you know we do or he does lots of genres, of techno and house and hardstyle. Anyway, he does lots of different types of music. Anyway, he he's just so talented, so talented. He can play so many different instruments. He plays guitar, drums, mandolin, a little bit banjo, piano. He's a whiz on piano. Um, what else? Bass guitar, like so many different types of guitars. Oh, what else? I can't even think of all the instruments that we have in there. It's a lot. But he is so talented. Like, oh my God. And man, he is such a looker. He can't he can't go anywhere without women staring at him and like flirting with him. He went, get this, it doesn't relate to Olivia, but he was looking for a chef's coat for or he needed a chef's coat, and so he went to this uniform store that we have, and I said, you know what, honey, I was with him. I said, I'm gonna sit out in the car. I said, that's cool with me. And I said, I'm sure it won't take you long. He said, no. He said it shouldn't. He was in there for a hot minute. He comes out and he says, there was this young girl in there, around our age. And he said, he's like 3 years older than me, but, whatever, around our age. And he said, uh, you should have been in there. You should have been in there with me when I went in there. I said, why? And he said, you'd have been pissed. And I said, well, why? And he was like, the girl that was working in there was hitting on me severely. And I said, oh, was she now? He said, I said, so what happened? He said, she started talking to him like, flirty like. And then she was like, man, I'm just really hungry right now. Like, I wish I could stop, or I wish I could go and get me something to eat, but I can't stop work. And she was like, can you please get me, could you, or would you please, be so nice and go get me something to eat? I'll pay you. And he was like, oh, will you now? And she was like, yeah, I'll pay you. And he was like, how much? She was like, whatever you want. I'll pay you however you want. And I was like, oh, hell no. And he was like, yeah. He said, I was just kind of going along with it because I thought it was funny. And um, he said she was like, you can come back here and I'll show you how I'll repay or I'll pay you or whatever. And, whatever was all said, and then he comes out and tells me all that. And I was like, don't pull out of the parking lot yet. I said, I'm going to get out and I'm going to have a little word with her. I said, how about you go back in there and act like you wanted to look at something else. I said, I'll go in there with you. I said, and then I'll go up to you. While she's staring, I'll go up to you and I'll start making out with you. I said, I'll put my hands all over you, all kinds of stuff. He said, no. I said, yeah, absolutely I will. I said, come on, let's go in there. I said, and I'll be sure to say, hey, honey, or hey, fiance. No, I'm not going to say that, but, I've been like, hey, honey, hey, babe. Um, whatever to just piss her off. But I just thought it was so funny. And every time I go by that place, I'm like, ah. But um, anyway, I love my man. I love him so much. He is so good looking. Oh my God, he's good looking. Um, anyway, Olivia's a whole hot mess. And those two kids need a stable father figure in their lives. And how's she gonna say, she knows Joey, she knows everything about him, the ins and outs, and that's Kalani's dad, and he's just now having something to do with Kalani. But and also he'd been in prison for a really, really long time for being like a big time rug dealer. Kalani's too. So how long was he in prison for, huh? Like what? A year's not a really long time, you know? 2 years isn't a really long time in prison. I mean, if you're the one going to prison, then yeah, even a few months is a long time in prison. Like, mm-mm. But I just don't get it. She lies and lies and lies. It's the delusions for me, y'all. What the hell? And her and her supporters never have good comebacks. Like, what the hell? It's always we're ugly, we're slow. I don't want to say the R word because I don't like it, but you know what I mean. Same thing as slow. Um, we're stupid, or um, we're jealous. Even Olivia's mom said that we're jealous of her. Oh my God, her Stella is no better than Olivia. Oh my God, no better. And that's what I told the CPS worker. I said her mom is in town. And I said, and her mom's not doing anything to aid in the baby's health. I said, the baby's in there coughing and she's da-di-da. I was like, I know she's sick too, but my God, if that were my child, I'd be like, get off of your ass and take the child to the doctor, or I will do it myself. Like, plain and simple. But I don't know. Stella is just a whole hot mess. And I would not allow my child to quit the 8th grade and not go back to school. Growing up, I was bullied, but you know what? I think most people were, unless you were like the popular kids. But that never stopped me from passing the 8th grade or even graduating high school. What the hell? Oh my God! Like, if you're being bullied to that extent, then switch schools, go to a different school. I'm sure there's other middle schools in your area. I mean, that's middle school think about it, that is middle school that she did not finish. She did not pass middle school, didn't make it to high school. Like, where I went to high school, like 9th grade, it was like middle school and high school were like conjoined into one school. The only thing that separated it was like the cafeteria. So like the left side was the high school, and then the right side was the middle school. But sometimes there were like a few teachers that were high school teachers, and their classrooms were on the middle school side, and vice versa. Some middle school teachers had classrooms in the high school side. Um, but I don't like 9th grade, where I went, was considered middle school. And so 10th, 11th, and 12th was high school where I went. Sounds kind of confusing, but yeah, that's the way it was. But like, what? You didn't pass the 8th grade? Like, girl, Stella failed you as a parent. Absolutely failed you. Failed you. Capital F, capital A, capital I, capital L, capital E, capital D. Failed you, Olivia Johnson. I failed you severely. And Olivia's talking about how her was a stepdad, dad, whatever. Like, oh, he's the best. Blah 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 blah. He loves me. He cares so much about me. And blah, blah, blah. Well, how come he didn't come down and see you? How come he didn't come down and visit you? How come he's never come down and visited you? And word around the block is, I don't know if it's Gerard or who it was, but I believe it was, said that he didn't want nothing to do with Olivia. He didn't like her. He didn't care for her. He thought she was a POS, pretty much. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. My parents, God rest their souls, both of them have passed, but they have never and would never speak ill on me or my siblings. Like, my dad would have given the shirt off his back to us if we needed it. You know, even now as adults, like if he were still around, like even my mom, like I don't understand. I just don't understand. What the hell, man? And I swear to God, I just want to take that gum out of Olivia's mouth, and I want to wrap it around her neck, because I hate, and I mean hate, the way she chews that gum. It sounds like a cow chewing on cud grass. Like, I can't. And she's always smacking them lips. Like, my God. Fucking stop, for fucking fuck's sake. Dude. I don't know how the people in her chat room sit there and listen to that, because I would fucking lose it. And I don't know what she did on TikTok. Like, apparently people were saying she acted like a whole hot mess. And Stella's there, and Stella's not saying, hey, you know, Olivia, get off the internet and quit drinking and quit making a fool of yourself. It's okay. It's okay as an adult to drink. Sure, absolutely. You know, I do on occasion. But to do it every single day almost, like, you have liver issues. There is no doubt in my mind that Olivia has liver issues. And she's talking about how she gonna work at a nursing home and work as a security officer. No, girl, you can't handle your own children. Like, taking care of elderly? Absolutely not. No. You would get charged for abuse and neglect. Like, working in a nursing home is not for the faint of heart. I've never worked in a nursing home, but I've been in several. And the patients in there, no. I could not work in a mental hospital. Some of them do have mental issues, but I could not work in a nursing home. The last one I went to that, don't want to say why I was there, you know, who I was visiting, but nobody in my family, but I would go quite frequently, and there would be a lady in there, an elderly lady who was in a wheelchair, and all she would do from the time she woke up until the time to go to bed, she would just scream. And I mean scream loudly. And there was another woman, an elderly woman, who would take her diapers off, like the poopy ones, and she would like to just throw them around. And another woman in there who thought she knew everyone in there that would come in there, like, visiting, and she would follow them around, and just, I couldn't do it. And it's sad too. It's so sad. And then Olivia trying to be a security officer? No. Like, if she were trying to stop somebody from stealing something, they would easily get away with whatever they were stealing. Like, picture Olivia in picture Olivia in a security guard outfit with, like, a little taser on the side and a flashlight, like, running after somebody who, like, stealing like a TV at Walmart or something. I can just picture her like running, trying to run after this person. It's like, hey, come back here, motherfucker, come back. like, like the police would have to catch this person, like, and then whoever she was working for, like security office, they'd be like, girl, you gotta go. Like, you're not doing anything. Like, you're not doing your job, honey. You can't do your job. You're not active enough. Oh, Lord. Oh my God, I'm dying. She would be worried more about her looks, like, and she would be, she, oh my God, I can't stop laughing. She would be live streaming while, while the person is like right in front of her stealing something, and then the people in the chat would be like, girl, so somebody's stealing something, like they're behind you stealing something, like, do something. And she'd be like, Gerard this, Gerard that, every man wants me, I'm so beautiful, y'all jealous of me, there ain't nothing wrong with my babies. Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, that is funny. And for her, or for her supporters to be like, why don't you work at a daycare? Absolutely not. That's a terrible idea. She can't even take care of the ones that she has. Like, no, no. She'd be another story on the news of, you know, woman abuses and neglects kids at a daycare, like, oh my God, y'all, I can't. And she said she wasn't gonna get the Web3 anything for Halloween, like Halloween costume, until like day of. Like, everything's gonna be gone. Like, do better. Have I got my kids their costumes? Absolutely not. But I will here in a few days. But what they want is easy peasy. And well, my baby, I don't know what she's gonna be, but I don't know. But I can easily find her something. My 6-year-old, he'll be 7 in a few days. He wants to be either Steve or from Minecraft, or Minecraft Creeper. And my 3-year-old, he either wants to be a dinosaur, a werewolf, or Handyman Hal. If you don't know Handyman Hal, he's a children's YouTuber guy. I really like his channel. He makes really cool, fun educational videos for the kids. And he's also this damn fly in here. He's like a youth, or not like, he's a youth minister. Uh, anyway, I don't know, y'all. It's a whole hot mess. It's a whole hot mess over at Olivia's, A whole hot mess on the Olivia Express. Y'all, I'm dying. Someone said she's like Dollar General. Olivia is not like the Dollar General. Do not give her that credit. She is the 99 cent. If she were a store, she would be Dollar Tree or the 99-cent store. And I don't want to say Dollar Tree because you can find some decent stuff at the Dollar Tree sometimes. So, I'm going to go with the 99-cent store. That's Olivia. That is Olivia. 99-cent store. Ain't nothing in there but trash, or like a bargain store. I don't know, y'all. I just don't know. She is a whole hot mess. But I'm going to go. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I love when people subscribe to me. I really, really do. And when they like my videos and comment, I truly appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who even takes the time to watch my videos or listen, to even interact. Like, I love it. I appreciate it so much. I know I'm just some measly person who gets on the internet and talks about an awful person, but you know, having the support from other people is so nice and so appreciative. And thank you so much for taking the time to even listen to this. I'd say watch, but like, I don't really show my face. and I choose not to, you know, not because I don't want to. I just choose not to. Um, but again, if you watch this, listen to it, whatever, you know, I truly appreciate you. And if you like and subscribe, I appreciate you so much more. And you guys are great. And thank you for being smart and calling Olivia out and seeing past the BS. And yeah, I'm gonna go. And I hope you guys have a fabulous night, and I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous Saturday. For me, it's Catter Day. um, every day is Catter Day around here because I have 4 cats, and I love my cats. I have 4 cats, and I have 2 dogs, and a bunch of koi and goldfish in my backyard pond. Um, my neighbor who used to, he didn't ask, but my neighbor who used to live next door to me, he moved out and his cousins moved in, and he had 2 cats, and when he moved, he left the cats there, and I thought the cousins were supposed to keep the cats and take care of them, but they asked me whose cats those were, and I was like, they're not your cats, and they said no. So I said, you know what? I guess I have 2 new cats. So now I have 2 new cats. And I love it. I love it so much. I changed their names because I knew their names before. And so I changed their names, and they live out front for now. My one of my dogs is a rescue dog, and he is not the best with cats. He's good with our 2 cats that are indoor and outdoor cats. They're both, but he's really well with them because they were here before him, so he knows his place. Like, I can't mess with them. I can't f them up. You know what I mean? But they have nice little homes out front, and I've got to get them prepared for the winter because here on the east, it's getting chilly. So I've got to get them set up for the winter, and I've got to get them some sweaters because I feel like all of my animals need clothes. My my 2 dogs, they love clothes. They get really excited when I bring home sweaters and stuff. They're like, yes. So cute. They wag their tails and they just get so happy. But you know hashtag save the Johnson kids. Yep. Hashtag save the Johnson kids. Hopefully this damn fly, hopefully CPS will, I'm gonna kill that fly when it lands. But hopefully CPS will maybe step in and do something this time. But I feel like people are constantly reporting her, and obviously nothing gets done. And I told CPS in my report, I said, I said, Olivia is failing those kids. Her mom is failing those kids. I said, the people around her are failing those kids. Anyone in the family or everyone in the family is failing those kids. I said, and CPS is failing those kids. So, whatever. We'll see. If nothing happens, best believe I'm still going to continue to make reports until something is done. I know I've said before that I'm not doing it anymore because CPS won't do shit, but I am. I can't. I'm the kind of person that, like I said, when I see something or I hear something, I'm going to say something. I'm going to speak up. AJ and Kalani don't have a voice. I mean, they do, but they don't have a big enough voice to stand up for themselves, to know right from wrong, to know that they're being abused and neglected. And so I, as a person, am going to step up for them, And I think it's so annoying that Olivia says that there's nothing they can do if Kalani has allergies. Like, yes, and she says she has a breathing treatment from a long time ago. No. Medicine does go bad. It does. It really does. Just like anything else. Um, and she's not giving that baby any breathing treatments. I mean, come on. She's live like 24/7. If not on YouTube, she's on TikTok going live. You know? Like, we don't see that baby getting no breathing treatments. She just sits there. Olivia just sits there and watches her cough. And it's like, like, no. Um, my daughter has, she has a breathing treatment. She's on Flovent and albuterol, and has been since last year. Yeah, last year. Um, and she sees the pulmonologist for her lungs, and she was put in the hospital because she had rhinovirus, RSV, and human metapneumovirus, which was absolutely scary and terrifying. My oldest, he had it first. He picked it up from school and brought it home, and then she got it. He was in the hospital for quite a few days. It was, I don't, I don't even, I don't even want to think about it. Like, my kids in the hospital is just so scary, you know. Um, like watching my son just lay there and cry in pain and just being so scared of everything the doctors were doing and trying to help him breathe and bring his oxygen up and keep him from stopping, breathing. And he was hooked up to so many machines, and my God, it was terrifying. And then my baby, just like seeing her in those little hospital cribs, and being hooked up to everything and just crying all of the time. Like, it was just absolutely terrible. Like, I just don't understand how someone can listen to their child cough like that and be the way they are and sound so congested and like gasping for air and not do anything about it. Like, that shows that you don't care about your children, you know? Like, my son was laying there in the hospital bed just shaking and crying and just being so scared and just asking every day, please, can I go home? Please, I promise to do better. And it's not him. He can't control his sickness. Like, it fucking sucks, man. It sucks. My kids are my life, and they will always be my life. I would give my right arm to save my kids, keep them from any sickness. It's such a terrible time for me. I'm sorry for crying. Just, it sucks. It sucks. But, I'm thankful that both of my children got on medication, like inhalers, that can help them. It's just, it's devastating to think about. And, I know for a fact that if Kailani was put into the hospital, Olivia would be live streaming 24/7 while in the hospital, and that's just shitty. Or she would just leave Kalani in the hospital and just go home and have the doctors just take care of her 24/7. Like, I couldn't do that. Like, those poor babies. Like, and AJ just constantly getting screamed at and yelled at for even the smallest of inconveniences. They're not even inconveniences. Like, it's so sad. I feel so sad for those kids. Like, and the fact that, everyone around them is failing them. Even CPS, like, are you gonna do something when it's too late? Like, come on. Do better for those kids. They deserve so much. They're so teeny tiny, and they're just learning such bad behavior 24/7. They shouldn't even be on the internet. Like, keep your kids off of the internet. There's too many predators, too many PDF files. Just stop. And the way she has them running around in a diaper, AJ in a diaper at 3 years old, not even trying to potty train him. And just having them run around in diapers. And it's like, no. There are creepos on the fucking internet, dude. Keep them off. They're exposed to so much bad stuff. And it's just so sad. It's so sad for those kids. They deserve so much better and they deserve love. They don't get it, and that makes me sad too. For me, it's really that deep because the Web3, they got out of that situation. Yes, they have to, every other weekend, they have to go back to that situation, but it's not full time. Yeah. Just, oh my God, dude. It's so sad. I feel so bad for AJ and Kalani, you know, and just keeping them in that apartment with the mold. Like, she doesn't even care. Like, I would be out. If my place had mold, if my house had mold, I would be out of my home until it got completely clean. You know, I would be staying at family or friends or a hotel or something. You know, Airbnb, whatever. I know, like forever ago, I said I was gonna go, but I'm gonna go now. I'm just really sad, and I think I'm gonna go finish crying, honestly. You know, sometimes when you start to cry and then you stop and then you try to get yourself together and you're just like, I really need to finish my cry, you know? And you don't feel better until you finish that cry, you know? Like, you let it out. You seriously let it out. I know people might think it's crazy that I don't know these two kids. I don't know all five of these kids, but, you know, I get so emotional. And it just, it's not fucking fair, you know? I'm 35. I would never, never put my children in that kind of situation, and no one should. Like, she truly does not love her children. And I know she posted a picture of saying AJ, you know, got perfect attendance, and someone commented and said, yeah, because he has perfect attendance because you don't want to have to deal with him at home, so you make somebody else deal with him. And that's so true. Like, that's so sad. Like, he doesn't have to be in, like, after school care. Like, you know, like, you don't do anything all day, you know? I mean, I'm glad he's going somewhere where he can get some structure and some playtime and have friends and things. That's so important in such a young child's life, you know? Best believe this coming up year, my 3-year-old is going to pre-K, and he is so excited. He is beyond excited, and I love that for him. Oh, I don't know, man. It makes me so sad to just think about the situation and like what they have to go through and what they go through, like when she's not live streaming, and the fact that Stella's not doing anything about it, and she's just as much of a piece of shit as Olivia is, and CPS is failing these kids. Like, wake the fuck up. And I know that, like, there are more severe cases, but this is a case where, like, I would be like, absolutely not. You know, these kids are not going to be in this situation anymore. Absolutely not. I'm taking them. I'm taking them out of your care, and they're going to foster care, and you can get pissed all you want, but these kids deserve better. You know, it's just like, how can you, like, listening to Gamer Bay? I hate even calling him that, but listening to him hit AJ and Kalani and them crying their little cries, like, how does that not make you sad? I can't, dude. I can't. Not only will I protect my children, but I will protect any other children on this planet if I can. You know? Like, children are precious gifts from God, and they deserve to be loved and treated with respect and kindness, and they deserve to be treated just like their age. You know, like, if just, I don't get it. Even as like a teenager, you know, like, and kids will at you know, when they get to be teenagers, even adults, they remember these things. You know, like these good things you did for them and stuff. You know. Like, my kids are gonna say every single birthday when they become adults. They're gonna say every single birthday. So many people showed up for us,
and we had such good birthdays, and we did so many fun things as kids, and everyone was always there for us and supporting us and loving us. And you know, Olivia's kids can't say that the Web 3, but not AJ and Kalani, All they're gonna know is their mom live streaming and bringing random men into the apartment, and her drinking, and possibly, more than likely, allegedly, being on rugs and just being yelled at and screamed at and ignored. It's sad. It's so sad. I think, even if I weren't a mother, like, I would still feel this way. I would still be so emotional. But like I said, I know I said forever ago I was going to get off here, but I am going to get off here and I'm going to finish crying. And hopefully I'll feel a little better. Probably not, because I know that kids are always in a terrible situation. I just I just don't understand why YouTube doesn't do anything. Like, they don't step in, TikTok doesn't step in. They continue to allow this mess. CBS doesn't do anything. Anyone and everyone in her family won't step in and do anything. And it's like, come on, dude. Like Jen, she doesn't do anything. She's not like, hey, I'm a nurse. You shouldn't be doing this, that, and the third. You need to get that baby into the hospital, to the doctor. Look, she doesn't say anything. Like, what a terrible fucking friend. I would hate for her to be my nurse. But I am gonna go. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you all. And fuck, I'm so sad. And she's gotta stop. Olivia's gotta stop preaching the Bible, because she's the last person to be calling herself a Christian and speaking about God, because every other word out of her mouth is trash. She literally just said that someone's mom looks like they just come down from having Down syndrome. And that's terrible. Terrible. Um, but I love you guys. I'm gonna go. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your day, if it is daytime, wherever you are, and afternoon. And have a good day tomorrow. And I hope nothing but good blessings. And I hope the good Lord blesses you and all of the things that you need blessed upon. And I hope you get that job. I hope you get that raise, that car, that house. I hope you get the children that you've desperately been trying to have. And I hope your health turns around and you have good health. And your life goes so good, and you never have any worries and any pains. And you have friends and family always by your side. I'm gonna go though. Okay, bye.